Hey everybody, welcome back to Wigs Gaming. Today is another what is the worst Pokemon of every generation for a specific type, and today we are diving into Electric. So if you are excited for more, please make sure to hit a like button. Make sure to hit the like button at the bottom of the video and subscribe if you're new. These are coming out every single day. I do not want to miss a day. I hope by the time this is coming out that I still haven't missed a day. I'm not missing a day until I'm done with all of this over here. All right, let's get started. It's Electric type time, and we're going to start with Generation 1. And Generation 1 probably is the best Electric type generation ever. From a design aspect of things, you can say that it's Voltorb and Electrode. But I just love these Pokemon so much because of how high their speed stat is. I have a lot of fond memories using them. I really like them. But honestly, when you think about it, the worst Electric type is probably Magnemite. As much as Pikachu probably might be the worst statistically, it's the fact that it gets things like Volt Tackle and Thunderbolt by level up that are super strong. Whereas if you remember, in Generation 1, Magnemite was not a Steel type. He was not a Steel type until Generation 2 because Steel type actually did not even exist. So a pure Electric Magnemite probably got Sonic Boom. It probably got Thundershock, and that might be it. I don't think it got anything more than that unless it learned something via TM. It just is. It isn't fast. There's a lot of things that Magnemite is not good, but I will say a lot of the Generation 1 Electric types are all very strong and very good. Magnemite's just the weakest one out of the bunch, but I do like Magnemite. I think we just have to kind of swallow that one. Now, Gen 2, I think this answer is very obvious. It's obviously Chinchou. Anyone who likes Chinchou and Lantern, I respect you. I respect your opinion. You're allowed to like a Pokemon, but I think we can all agree that this thing is trash, and I think we can all agree that no one has ever used this thing in any playthrough of any game, period. You don't ever even find this thing in Gen 2 games very early, and at the same time, in Gen 3, they put it all the way past the 7th gym, so nobody even knows it exists in that game either. Nobody wants to use Chinchou and Lantern. It's as simple as that. It's a terrible Pokemon. Now, Gen 3, they only added 4. I don't know why that is, but obviously it's either a Plusle or a Minun, and I'm going to go with Plusle. Reason being, I actually have a Let's Play I'm doing. There's a playlist in your description of a Hard Gold Randomizer, and I have had a Minun in that Let's Play for the longest time. Matter of fact, as I'm speaking to you, that might not even have it yet, but I know in what I've recorded that I have it, and I actually really like the thing, and I've had it for a long time. So I just have to go with Plusle. Obviously, they both are trash. Like, the fact that they decided that was a good idea to add them into the game, I don't get it. They're trash, but there they are. So Plusle is 100% the worst in Gen 3. Gen 4 is when things get tricky. Because, again, I like a lot of these Pokemon. I love Shinx and his line. I love Magnezone. It made Magneton so much better. I love Electivire. Rotom is a classic. The answer is honestly pretty obvious then, because there's one that I said I didn't love, that I didn't say I loved. That's obviously Pachirisu. I get it. Like, the Pikachu clone can't evolve because none of the other Pikachu clones evolve, except for Palmy, which in Generation 9 evolved now. I don't really know what they were going with, but at the end of the day, Pachirisu is, what is its purpose? I mean, they did a pretty decent job with some other Pikachu clones. I really liked Togedemaru. I really liked Emolga, but they messed up pretty bad with a couple of them too. And this is one of them. Pachirisu, I don't know what you are, and I don't know why you're in the game. And anyone who likes this Pokemon, let me know in the comments below, because I don't see any appeal to enjoying this. Squirrels are little demons. Like, if you think squirrels are cute, I'm sorry. I do not understand your concept of thinking. Squirrels are little demons, and you decided to make an electric squirrel that doesn't evolve, that has horrible base stats, that looks horrible, and has terrible moveset. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Goodbye. Gen 5. This is where our boys here. I think everybody knows the answer to this. It's obviously Stunfisk. My problem is, and I think Pokemon did this as a joke. I don't think they did this on purpose. Like, I don't think they looked at Stunfisk and thought to themselves, "Oh man, this is going to be so cool. People are going to love this. They really were messing around. Like, this was a joke. Somewhere, some way, someone accidentally stepped on a turd and said that should be a Pokemon. But because I stepped on a turd, it should also, have what was the word I was looking for? It should also have crap stats. There we go. I was trying to find a clean way to say that. I didn't want to cuss. So that's where you get Stunfisk. The fact that this thing is an electric type just doesn't make sense. I can't get behind this because it's obviously supposed to be a fish, but it's not, and I just don't understand. It's not supposed to be a stingray. There are other electric type, water type Pokemon that are supposed to look like stingrays. Not that. I just don't get it. This thing isn't even water type, by the way. It's like electric ground, isn't it? Or something stupid. I don't get it. Stunfisk, you are one of the worst electric types probably ever created. Simple as that. Gen 6. Let's look at our options for a minute. I'm not going to count the Pikachu forms. I said earlier that I liked some of the Pikachu clones. I'll be honest with you. The one I don't like is Dedenne. Dedenne is just really weak. It gets Nuzzle, which is nice, and it's kind of fast, but it's just really weak. Again, the Pikachu clone thing, I've got 3 of them on here. The Pikachu clone concept, I like tradition. I don't want them to stop the Pikachu clone concept, but I do think they can make them stronger. And I think they started to do that in Generation 7 with Mimikyu. But then they've kind of, obviously in other games, they just didn't really care about doing that. But now they've made them stronger, so I like what they're doing now. This was one of the last bad ones, in my personal opinion. I think they all got better after this. Generation 7. Generation 7. Ooh. This is tough. I really like Vikavolt. I forgot that Geodude got an Alolan form. I completely forgot that Geodude got an Alolan form. I love that. Obviously, Alolan Raichu is awesome. Is this Tapu Koko? I think it's Tapu Koko. The electric Xurkitree. I forgot this guy's name, but he's awesome. So I think the answer is quite simple based off this. And it's obviously Oricorio Electric. The concept of Oricorio is cool where it's multiple types, but it's the same Pokemon depending on what form you get. But just compared to all the really great Alolan Electric types, I just can't say that this is... I would say similar to Magnemite. You know what I mean? It's the worst of the good, in my personal opinion. And so it has to be there. I don't think it's a terrible, terrible Pokemon, but at the same time, there's not much better... there's not much worse out there. So, I could say it's Charjabug, but I'm good. I'm going to leave it at Oricorio because this thing does evolve into Vikavolt either way. Let's go Generation 8. And there is a clear stinker here. Clear. And it's obviously Voltund. I used this thing because I liked the ideas like, oh, okay, it's an early game electric type that you get. I think this will be really cool. I used this thing my entire playthrough through Sword and Shield. The entire game, this thing was underpowered. It got one shot all the time. There was nothing I could do. I just felt useless whenever I used this thing. There was not a lot I could do. So I have to put Voltund here. If you like Voltund, tell me I'm wrong, but I don't really see how Voltund is better or is better than anything else on this list. I just don't. Just being honest with you. I really don't. And I just think based off of, where we thought we were going, it did not evolve and get that much stronger, unfortunately. Now, Gen 7. Wow. This is actually really hard. And I actually feel bad for the decision I'm about to make. I really do. Watrel and Kilowattrel are really, really cool. I really like the idea of an electric flying. It's not something we had for a while. I love Palmy, Palmo, and Palmot. Again, these are the Pikachu clones for Gen 9. I love that it gets a fighting type. I used this in my playthrough of Pokemon Scarlet, and I still use it. That thing's level 80-something. I'm running around just finishing my decks right now with this thing using Nuzzle as how I'm catching Pokemon. Like, I really, really enjoy Palmot. That's why this decision is so hard to make, because I love the rest of these. I love Sandy Shocks. I love Iron Hands and Iron Thorns. And I love Miraidon, who, by the way, I didn't even know Miraidon was an electric type. And I love Tadbulb and Bellibolt. it has to be Palmy. It has to be. And it hurts me to say this, but it has to be. Now, I recall not really liking Palmy very much, and then it got the fighting type, and then I liked it. So at the end of the day, as a first form, I don't like it, but as an evolutionary line, I really do. But I just can't say no to anything else. There's so much good stuff in here, so I have to go with Palmy. So to be honest with you, the game has a lot of really good electric types based off of what I just learned from myself, but also like from just looking at this list and seeing like some of these generations had some stinker electric types, right? But some of these generations had some really good ones, and it was a tough choice. But I think we can all agree that the all-time worst electric type is Plusle or Minun, one or the other. I don't know why these exist, and unfortunately, they will never be useful for anything ever. So that's going to do for our worst electric types in all of Pokemon. As you can see, Magnemite, Chinchou, Plusle, Pachirisu, Stunfisk, Emolga, Dedenne, Oricorio, Boltund, Palmy, and then Plusle being the absolute worst. Those are the worst electric types in every Pokemon generation. Tune in next time for ice types. I'll see you guys then.